While heading to Dakar, Senegal this morning to pay homage at the tomb of Cameroon's former president Amadou Ahidjo, the resigned minister and presidential candidate Issa Chiroma was notified at the Yaoundé-Simalène airport that he had been barred from leaving the country. The African Union has crowned Professor Nalova Lyonga Minister of Secondary Education for unwavering commitment to promoting girls' education in Cameroon. In sports, the Cameroon Football Federation has agreed to let Marc Brice continue as head coach of the Indomitable Lions. These and more in this newscast. It's 7 p.m. in Bamenda and of course 7 p.m. in the ABAKWA television studios. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in. For presentation, I am Schneider Williams. Let's begin the news today in Yaoundé, where Issa Chiroma Bakari, former minister and candidate for the 2025 presidential election, was barred from leaving the country at the Yaoundé-Simalène International Airport today, as reported by many sources, including Vox Afrique. Meniam Sibel reports.
Security personnel halted Chiroma's departure on a flight to Dakar, where he was reportedly traveling with his daughter to honor the memory of former President Amadou Ahidjo at his tomb. This incident follows criticism from Aminatou Ahidjo, the daughter of the late president, who condemned Chiroma's attempt to visit her father's grave without government authorization. She described his actions as a political and moral scam, alleging that he was exploiting her father's legacy for personal political gain despite having never extended condolences to the family. Aminatou also emphasized that former ministers are required to obtain approval from the president before traveling abroad, accusing Chiroma of willfully disregarding this regulation.
In other news, a truck belonging to Guinness Company lost its brakes on Thursday at Carrefour Sam in Yaoundé and crashed into a house. The accident caused significant material damage, but no loss of human life was reported. The exact circumstances of the incident are yet to be clarified. We proceed in the far north region of Cameroon, where the long-awaited return of seasonal rains has not translated into economic relief for local households. Non Kelly now reports.
Instead, families are grappling with a sharp rise in the prices of basic food staples such as millet and sorghum grains central to the region's daily diet. Despite improved weather conditions, the spike in prices has pushed many families into deeper financial stress. According to recent market observations, the price of 4 cups of millet has more than doubled, increasing from 500 francs CFA to 1,200 francs CFA. A full sack of millet, which was previously sold for between 12,000 and 18,000 francs CFA, now costs up to 40,000 francs CFA. We thought the rains would help lower prices, said Amadou Umaro, a vendor in Mara's main market. But things have only worsened. Families now struggle to buy what was once their most affordable meal. Rice, as an alternative, falls short for larger households. Faced with unaffordable millet and sorghum, many families have turned to rice. However, this solution remains unsustainable, particularly for large households. At 600 francs CFA per kilogram, rice is still costly, said Aisatu, a mother of 10 in Moliko. My children are not satisfied after a rice meal. It does not keep them full for long. In a region where food insecurity is already high, The nutritional gap left by the absence of traditional grains is adding to the daily hardship.
The African Union has crowned Professor Nalova Lyonga Minister of Secondary Education for unwavering commitment to promoting girls' education in Cameroon. The award specifically recognizes her leadership in the successful launch of the Africa Educates Her campaign within the country. Let's hear from our correspondent in Yaoundé. The prize was formally presented to Professor Nalova Lyonga on Wednesday, July 30, 2025 at the Distance Learning Center in Yaoundé by two envoys from the African Union's International Center for Girls and Women's Education in Africa, CFA. In her acceptance remarks, Professor Lyonga reaffirmed her strong dedication to advancing education for girls and expressed deep gratitude to Cameroon's First Lady, Madame Chantal Biya, for her patronage of the campaign's launch. As UNESCO Goodwill Ambassador, the First Lady supported the initiative during the 25th edition of the Secondary School Games held in Abongbang, Dimako, in the East region. Still within the framework of promoting educational excellence, Professor Nalova Lyonga also commended Mr. Mbono Alain Elise, Principal of Government Secondary School Mikila in the East region. He was recognized for successfully implementing ministerial guidelines on the digitalization of teaching and learning, which led his school to a 100% success rate in the 2025 BAPC examination session. Mr. Elise received a letter of congratulations, an attestation of excellence, and cash prizes in recognition of his achievements. Professor Nalova Lyonga concluded by encouraging school principals nationwide to follow this example, emphasizing that from now on, exceptional performance in official examinations will be a key criterion for the promotion of school officials. In other news, Cameroon presidential candidate Hiram Samuel Liodi told MMI in an exclusive interview that he previously worked hard to build a coalition between Barrister Akere Muna and Maurice Kamto in 2018, and he is ready to do so again. He confirms that he has been in discussions with opposition leaders and that a strategic plan is being developed. However, he was categorical that the details cannot be disclosed yet to avoid alerting his opposition. He assured Cameroonians that the plan will be in their best interest. Over to sports. The Cameroonian Football Federation has agreed to let Marc Brice continue to head the team of the Indomitable Lions after previously confirming that he had resigned. Staffman Sonka William gives us the report in detail.
In a statement released this evening, FECAFOOT President Samuel Eto'o says the Federation's Emergency Committee has decided to acknowledge the desire expressed by both parties to the contract to continue the contractual relationship between the government and Mr. Marc Brice. This statement comes days after FECAFOOT wrote to the ministry insisting that a letter it received on Marc Brice's resignation was authentic. Brice had quickly refuted this resignation and stated on national TV that his email account had been hacked. Despite the imbroglio, FECAFOOT Emergency Committee acknowledged Brice and the ministry intend to continue their contract. It urged all parties to foster a calm and serene atmosphere to ensure the national team's performance.
And that sports report ends today's edition of the Primetime News on ABAKWA Television. This news was done in collaboration with Meniam Sibel and the entire news bench of ABAKWA Television. The news was produced by Logan Brandon under the supervision of the station's manager, King Wills. For presentation, I am Schneider Williams. Stay tuned to ABAKWA Television for more programs. Good evening.